The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
Hi, I'm Dalia, she, her.
I'm Brandon, he, him.
I'm B, they, them.
And this podcast is based on true events.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
How are you doing? I guess we'll just start off vibe checking. So, I finally took some ibuprofen for my headache because it was starting to affect, behind my eye.
Yeah.
You ever have a headache that goes behind your eye and it starts making it water and stuff? And
Isn't
then
that a migraine?
It's like
an optical migraine.
Yeah. Oh no, I've gotten really bad optical ones before where I
Same.
can't see.
Yep.
It makes it to where it's like, oh no, I feel like I'm having vision problems, and I just know when that starts, it's like, okay, I'm about to be down. I'm about to have to just not move for a while, not look at anything, because they're bad. I've gotten them only a couple times, but they are the worst. And the first time it happened, I didn't know what was going on. I think I was driving at the time. I was like, oh god,
That's terrifying.
yeah, for real, it was for sure. So that happened, and I think I'm diabetic. So
Lovely.
I think we've talked about this, me and Dalia, but I get if I don't eat for a while, I start getting jittery. Mm-hmm. And so then I have to eat something, and then the jitters go away. But the problem with that is I haven't been to a doctor since high school. So, I really need to. I have good insurance now. I need to schedule a doctor's appointment. But first, before that, I need to schedule an eye appointment because I gotta get new glasses that double as eye safety wear. So, I got a lot of medical stuff I need to, get back into. And I'm just... there's just so much going on. And
one day you're going to wake up and Dalia has just done made all these appointments for you.
I've explicitly told her not to do that. It's I will do it. I need to do it.
I threatened to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I need to do it. I need to man up and do this. I need to nut up. I just haven't. The thing is,
nut up.
I'm only partially scared. I'm only partially worried about everything going into it, because mainly I'm just worried about money, because that's always the scariest part.
See, I'm not any better. I can preach and preach, but I also haven't been to a doctor in a long time. I just scheduled my first primary care physician appointment, and probably since I was a child. So,
right.
I'm going to that next week, and then I scheduled a follow-up for my ankle, because I injured it in January. That is pretty much, yeah.
See.
So I'm not much better.
See, one of the things I am proud that I do is I schedule them dentist appointments. There was a time where I didn't have a dentist for a bit just because I didn't have the insurance, and it just ate at me. So the moment I think it was when I got the current job that I have now, that's when I was I'm scheduling a dentist appointment. I found a new dentist. They're really nice. Excuse me. No, they're really nice. I've always been really sweet. Found out when I first went back, they're yeah, you got the beginnings of gingivitis, so we need to get rid of this. And so they took a laser to my teeth. And it was interesting. Yeah. Shit smelled like burnt hair.
I could use a new dentist if you want to pass me their information at some point.
It is in Kentucky though, isn't it?
I don't care.
It's just barely in Kentucky. Yeah.
Don't bother me none.
But I mean, checkups every 6 months. So
Yeah, but as someone who's terrified of dentists, a good dentist is worth it.
Oh, they're so nice, B. Legitimately. I remember when I first got there, it's just, how tall and how broad I am and stuff, and it's just this tiny skinny little woman, and she's just come on, let's get this on you so we can take your x-ray, and she'd toss it over my shoulder. But no, they're so nice, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm going to make assumptions. One of the front desk clerks that is always there when I've been there, I'm very sure that is a gay man, and it makes me so much comfortable. He's always so nice. love him to death. But no, yeah. So they feel very inclusive and very like friendly in that way. So that's also very comforting. But I'll pass that on to you, because that's a
that'd be great.
Best dentist I've ever went to. But then again, I've also gone to dentists who have told me I've had I needed fillings just because they wanted more money. So like, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. So I guess that's my vibe check. I can let y'all talk now.
Hanging in there. Looking forward to some food because I'm starting to get hungry now.
No, yeah, we were talking about Chipotle in between, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a honey Chipotle chicken that I just love so much.
Yeah.
I'm not even a huge fan of spicy things. Like, I'm not good with spicy things usually, but damn if that shit, I just can't stop eating it when I get it. Like, I need to finish it. Yeah. So
Anything else for your vibe check?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm just looking forward to food.
Yeah. I'm for some reason I hit like a high during the 3rd episode we recorded, I think, and now I'm crashing back down. I'm not sure why. I'm so tired right now. I'm good. I'm looking at you.
Seat you sitting in.
And looking at you is making me tired because you're on that Benadryl and your eyes are droopy, and so I'm like, oh, it's nap time.
yeah, I'll look over at B and you'll just have your mouth like hanging open a little bit and like eyes just a little open. I was like, oh, they're going.
I'm thinking. I'm trying. Listen, I'm fighting, but I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
No, yeah, you've been pretty. You've known the stories when we talk about them at the end, so like you're paying attention.
I'm
so.
making Benadryl my bitch.
Right.
Gosh.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Absolutely. Okay. Well then, I guess without further ado, we can get into our stories. What do you think?
Sound good to me.
All right. I just have one today. Once again, I've had one for a little bit, but that's going to be my usual. That's my baseline. Is just one story. Because there's not many. Well, I don't want to say not many. There's not. There is more times when I will have a documentary only cover one story, which will be big enough to, only do one here.
Frequently, it'll be one story. Occasionally, it'll be a couple.
Yeah, sometimes you get episodes where they have like multiple stories.
Yeah.
And so I'll get a few out of that one, and I'll just space them around and pair them with other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my story today starts with, actually, it's kind of weird knowing that we just had like a power failure last episode today.
Oh,
so
great.
So this is, here's my intro for this one. Natural disasters have a lot of potential to cause havoc in our lives. Earthquakes specifically can lead to losing your home, your job, and in more severe cases, even your life. Natural disasters actually terrify me in reality.
Same.
I'm finally getting back to now that we have like a secure home, I'm finally getting back to a place in life where I can enjoy storms again. Because when we lived in a trailer, we could not. Because we did not know if it got bad enough, if that trailer was staying.
Right.
But I can enjoy storms more. I have never been the type, and I know people like this, but I've never been the type to enjoy watching a tornado. Tornadoes scare the shit out of me. And maybe that's because I've lived in a trailer for so long in my life. Mm-hmm. Especially like after high school and stuff. But tornadoes scare me. I don't really have to worry about tsunamis or anything. Earthquakes, I've only had... I remember being in one earthquake in my entire life, and I slept through it. I didn't know about it until my mom told me about it the next day.
I'm from California. I've been through several earthquakes.
No, yeah, I can imagine.
That's how we have fire drills out here. We had earthquake drills.
That's crazy.
That was a normal drill for us.
I remember
to have.
tornado drills growing up, obviously.
Yep.
But
We have earthquake drills. We have earthquake, tornado, fire, and
See, when I moved to Ohio, we didn't have earthquake drills.
No, I've
The
never had
schools
an
that I
earthquake
went
drill.
to.
I've went like at schools I went to. I mean, I guess I'm from Kentucky, so it's a little different. But
Yeah.
like we had all the frickin' drills. Like earthquake drills, we get under our. No, it would be against the wall with our net covered.
No, I don't remember that.
The tornado ones were under the desk. It was vice versa. I don't know which one was which, but
For us, earthquake was under the desk and tornado was
then
bent
that,
over in
yeah,
the hallway.
That's
Yeah.
probably what it was then.
So for me, I have went to school in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, and I've only ever experienced, obviously, fire and tornado drills. I've never had an earthquake drill.
Huh.
Not once.
I also had to do them when I worked in childcare for the kids. We have to do earthquake drills. We also do something called a lockdown drill, which is really sad.
No, absolutely
Alice
it
drills.
is.
I'm sure we're talking about the same thing, but yeah.
It is, yeah. Active shooter drills. That's the Alice drill. Yes.
Yep. And we had to do that towards the end of my high school career. We started that.
Yep.
So like 2013, 2014. And then working in childcare, it breaks my heart every time because the kids get really scared when they got to go in a freaking locked
Of course they do.
closet
Yeah.
and we just got to turn off the lights and tell them not to talk. Why?
Yep.
This is practicing just in case a stranger comes. And like that is, tell a 5-year-old that.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Do you remember when we had the Alice drill in high school?
Oh yeah.
And they were walking through with like fake guns?
Are you serious?
I don't remember
Yes.
that, but I do remember. At least I don't remember that part. I do remember us having at least one or like a few drills like that. Like,
Because they were looking for stray kids.
Yeah.
Kids that weren't. I mean, they were cops. They were.
Right,
It
right.
was a drill, but they were looking to catch. Was anyone out? Was everyone safe?
no,
was
yeah, that
everyone
makes sense.
hidden?
I just don't remember that part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe
I was one
just-
of those kids that was out.
Oh no.
Of course you were.
Yep.
That makes so much sense. Like,
I smoked pot in the bathrooms.
there it is.
I was busy.
No, me and B went to high school together, and so that's how we originally know each other. And I guarantee that I don't remember that part because I was so wrapped up in like just whatever I was doing at the time.
Probably.
Trying to be funny or some bullshit. I remember cracking some jokes, and that's not a thing to be doing. But teenagers are fucking stupid. So like, no, yeah. Either way,
Did you ever end up jumping off that balcony in the freshman building?
no, I didn't. But
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's funny that you remember that, though.
I do, that you were going to tie a bedsheet around you like it was a cape, and you were wanting to jump from the fucking second floor. We convinced him not to, obviously.
There was
That's good, but-
secret. There was no way I was ever going to do that.
This is
Really?
why.
Not no,
I
I'm
thought
scared
for
of
sure
heights.
you
I've
would've.
been scared of heights since I was a child.
That's why I'm
I
giving
was
you this
talking
face.
mad shit.
I thought for sure you were going to do it, and I'm
No.
like, no!
I was just being stupid. I just wanted attention. Like, I'm going to do this. So people would go, no! And it worked. And it's stupid.
And it worked!
That's so real, though.
That's how you know it worked, because I remembered it.
Yeah.
I was a scene kid. I know about doing stuff for attention. Anyway, you were about to tell a story.
I am
sorry.
about to
I
tell
got
a
us
story.
rolling.
You're right,
No, I
though.
also got. We all did it. It's
Memory
cool.
lane's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Hell of a place to wind
God,
up.
how old are we? Fuck.
Don't talk about it. I'm gonna be 30.
Our 10-year reunions this year.
You going?
I haven't been
Graduated
invited.
10 years ago. I got invited to a different schools.
What?
I went to middle school at this school, and they invited me to their high school reunion.
Insane. That's funny though.
But I didn't get invited to
That'd
our
be
high
so
school.
funny. Please go. No, yeah, I haven't been invited to mine, which is crazy because one of our really close friends is the daughter of like the choir teacher at our high school.
Which one?
Amanda.
First name? Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah. I won't say the last name for like privacy reasons, but
of
you
course.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Makes a lot of sense,
no,
actually.
yeah, I was like, oh wait, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, but no, yeah. So I haven't heard about it all yet, at least. So I'd probably go if I was invited, though.
You would?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. A lot of people don't, but maybe because our school was just so big. I had good memories of high school for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, like yeah, back and forth, but like overall, I wasn't like it wasn't horrible for me, which is very privileged. Because not everybody gets that, you know? Anyway. Also, there's always just an inherent part of me that wants to be like, look where I am now, you know? So, like, there's that.
Literally.
Okay, so. But what... Sorry, where was I? Oh, yeah. Earthquakes specifically can lead to losing your home, your job, and in more severe cases, even your life. But what if one unearths something long dead and gone? Or at least thought to be gone? Something that wishes it would stay gone. Something that should have remained buried. As told by the show My Haunted House, I give you the Birdman.
My brother's name is Birdie. His nickname is Birdie, and my dad just got him a plaque engraved that says the Birdman on it.
Well, he can listen to this episode. This is In all intents and purposes, this is about Birdie right now. Perfect. Okay. August 23rd, 2011. Lori, her husband Gary, and their young son Scott have been living in their home in Virginia for 7 years when the earthquake hit. Oh, excuse me. Before the earthquake, Lori claimed that their home had been perfect, but after is when everything changed. Gary travels a lot for his job and was out on the road when it happened. Immediately following the earthquake, Lori notices a welt on her arm and has no idea where it came from, but she manages to brush it off as like a spider bite of some kind, and put it out of her mind. The next night, Lori had just finished putting Scott to bed and was starting to work on some laundry when she hears Scott's door open upstairs. After getting no reply when she called to him, she goes to investigate and finds Scott cowering in his room. She asks him what was wrong, and Scott tells her that something had just been in his room. Scott tells his mom that he had just seen what he calls a Birdman. Initially, Lori thinks that this is just a nightmare, but was given pause when she hears a tapping on the other side of Scott's open bedroom door. She checks and sees nothing, but then she starts hearing the same tapping, now coming from downstairs. She decides to peek over the banister and thinks she sees a man's leg poking out from around the corner. She quietly creeps down the stairs, now wondering if it was possible that someone had broken in, but thankfully finds that it was just one of her husband's shoes under the coat rack. But the tapping was still coming from around the corner. Once again, creeping around the corner, she discovers that the latch on the front door had come loose and the wind had just been rattling the door. Relieved now, she returns to Scott to try to comfort him, but Scott is adamant that he wasn't dreaming. He insists he had seen a Birdman in his room and that he had poked Scott with a stick. Scott then proceeds to show his mom a series of bruises on his arm as proof, but Lori insists that he must have just been playing with some neighborhood kids and had forgotten about it, as kids do. A couple hours later, Lori herself is getting ready for bed when she notices what looks like a rash on her shoulder. Pulling down her shirt to get a closer look, she panics as she sees that her entire shoulder is now covered in what looks like blisters.
Ew.
The next morning, she calls her family doctor to come take a look, but by the time he pulls up her sleeve to investigate, the blisters are gone. Lori was confused as to how these disgusting blisters had just been on her arm and were now just gone without a trace. Her doctor told her not to worry, and that it was probably a stress reaction, probably caused by the recent earthquake. Later that afternoon, Lori is doing the dishes, trying to put the whole situation out of her mind. She finishes up, unstops the drain, goes to dry her arms, and screams as she now sees multiple thick black leeches stuck to her arm.
Ew!
How the hell did leeches get into her sink? After getting them off and calming down a bit, she decides that the earthquake must have broken the pipes and that they somehow made their way into the plumbing. Lori decides to take her mind off of it by planting some flowers in the backyard. The earthquake had made this crack through her flower bed, and she decided to take it as a sign that it was time to do some replanting. She was just getting started when she uncovers what looks to her like some sort of bone or skeleton. Maybe the previous owners had buried their pet there. Either way, that would have to wait. Her husband was arriving home that night after being out on the road for 2 weeks, and with only 24 hours before he had to be back on the road, Lori decides to focus on spending her time with her family. The strange things that could have been going on could wait. The strange things that had been going on could wait. Or could they? That night, Lori wakes to hear the strange tapping noise from the night before. She calls for Gary, but quickly realizes he's not in bed with her. Maybe that's him entering the room now. All she can make out is a shadow figure of a person. But if this is Gary, why isn't he answering her? "Gary, you're scaring me," Lori stammers, as the figure slowly walks around the edge of the room. "Gary, answer me," she calls, as the figure starts to turn towards her, revealing its bone-white face with a long protruding beak. Its dark, empty eyes look into hers, and she cries out as she falls from her bed to the floor. But as she loses sight of the figure, the overhead light flicks on. "What's wrong?" Gary asks as he enters the room to see his wife cowering in the corner of the room. "Did you see him?" Lori questions as her eyes dart around for the thing that is no longer there. She stops to look at Gary as he asks her, "Wait, did you see someone too?" He had just been in Scott's room. Scott had yelled out and told his dad about how he had seen the Birdman in his room again. After Gary checked the house to find no one, Lori decides she had to tell him everything. She showed him what she had started to unearth in the backyard, and after clearing a bit more of the dirt away, she discovered that what she once mistook for bones, she could now recognize as some sort of mask. Gary is unconvinced that anything supernatural is happening in the home, and Lori decides to drop the matter, given that Gary had to be back on the road soon. After Gary is back on the road, however, Lori decides to email a friend of theirs who's a history professor to see if he can shed any light on the origins of the mask. He comes over and quickly identifies it as a pest mask, or to use the more common term, a plague doctor's mask. For those who are unaware, during the time of the bubonic plague, doctors would wear masks resembling birds and would store herbs in the beaks, like the beak areas of them. And it was believed to protect them from the, quote, putrefied air, which is what they thought caused diseases back in the day. They would also wear these long robes and carry sticks that were used to poke the bodies while trying to find out who was still alive. Their friend theorized that the mask could have been used during a smallpox epidemic in the area in around the 1700s. I don't think there were any pest houses in America, though, the friend said as he pondered over the mask. Lori asked what a pest house was, and he says that they were basically these small huts that were locked, that they locked in all of the infected so that the diseases wouldn't spread. They would throw leeches through the windows so that the infected could let their own blood. Bloodletting just being like cutting, leeching, getting blood out of you, because that another thing is what they thought made people sick is just bad blood. Lori was now faced with more questions than answers. Why was there a plague mask in her backyard? That night, Lori was having trouble sleeping, and so she had been wide awake when she hears the noise. She couldn't tell if it was an animal or a human, but it was definitely coming from the backyard. On her way to check it out, she noticed that Scott wasn't in his bed. Instead, he stood looking out of his window into the backyard. "There's something going on outside," he tells his mom. Lori now sees that there's a light on in the shed out back that nobody has been in for a week. After putting Scott back to bed, she decides to investigate. She knew she could call the police, but what would she have said? That she'd seen a man from the 18th century in her house and she thought he had taken up residence in her shed? There's no way they would have taken that seriously. Personally, I feel like she could have just claimed intruder.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But as she creeps towards the shed, she notices that the light in the shed dims and glows like that of a candle, and that the sound that she hears from her bedroom now has an origin. Sounds of agony can be heard from the shed as she gets nearer, human pain and suffering etched in their moans. The shed was old and had some small gaps in the wood. She would just take a peek before going back inside. Maybe she needed to call the cops after all. As she looked into the rotted gap in the shed, she locked eyes with a man covered entirely in blisters and boils, his raw face glistening with sweat and other fluids. "Help us!" he screams at her. Lori screams and turns around to find herself face to face with a bird-masked figure dressed head to toe in dark robes. She bolts past him into the house and goes to get Scott out of bed. They would be staying with their parents for a while. The next night, Lori did something she never thought she would do and called in a psychic medium. Upon seeing the mask, the medium informs Lori that the entity was not evil, but angry. He was at peace and just wanted to be put back where he belonged. She felt that the earthquake had disturbed the man's resting place and that the best thing to do would be to rebury the mask. And that's exactly what Lori did. And she prayed that would be enough to make it stop. Further research revealed an outbreak of smallpox in the area in 1776. Nearly 500 people were burned alive to stop the disease from spreading.
Damn.
Since burying the mask, neither Lori nor Scott have seen the Birdman.
I was gonna say I never got like a malicious feel from that, but that makes sense. Hey, he's like, God damn it, I was sleeping, having a good time, and then y'all come in and wake me the fuck up.
Right?
Yeah, put my ass back to bed.
Whew. Yeah, I don't know why, but that story towards the end gave me chills.
Yeah, that was very, very interesting.
Because for me, it's also like, I'm sorry, it's my story. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you first, actually.
I love plague doctors. I know
I
it's
do
a
too.
weird. Okay,
It's a
you
great-
get it. Cool. The concept, the fashion of it all. It sounds so bad.
No,
in
it
this,
does.
but-
I understand what you mean, though. The iconic like artistic look that we know
Yeah.
about, which I do have some pictures of, and I will show you in a bit. But yeah, it's cool looking, despite its horrific use and origin. You know. But crap! I forgot what I was gonna say.
Do you have thoughts on it, B?
Nothing particular, like out of the way, just what I've said earlier.
Yeah.
See, when sorry, I think it's the wife, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
when she unburied the quote-unquote bones, I was
The
like,
mask.
oh, she awakened. I know, but at first it was bones.
Yeah.
So, right? And at first I was like, she awakened something. And then she said mask, and I was like, huh. And it was still, she awakened something.
No, for sure.
So,
Yep.
Still awakening. No bones. Still awakened. No
bones.
I remembered what I was gonna say, and it's the fact of the matter that what really gets to me is all the other stuff happening that's not a Birdman walking around or seeing a burning infected man in your shed. It's the fact that you pulled your arm. If I pulled my arm out of soapy water and found leeches over me, I'd collapse on the spot. I'd evaporate into thin air. What do you mean? Like, no, parasites are not. I don't like parasites. No, and the fact that like you have these mysterious injuries just popping up and also like disappearing, that shit freaks me out too. Because it feels more personal. Yes.
So, thought. With the guy screaming in the shed, he was obviously some kind of like victim. He had the plague or something like that. Do you think when like the plague doctor was reawakened, he has to relive through that? Maybe that's why he was so angry, is because he was put back to, I guess, working with people who had the plague. You think
It's possible, because like I wouldn't like to feel like those spirits are also awakened. It would almost, to me, it almost feels like it's intelligent, but it's also what's the word for it? I've been into ghost stuff for years. I should know the word for this. It's something that's just happening on a loop.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Ghost hunters who listening to this are probably screaming at me. I'll figure it out later on, and then wake up in a cold sweat like it was that. But until then, no, yeah, it feels like the only thing about it is that the plague doctor, even his actions don't really feel like he is intelligent right now. But it does feel like it's almost like his spirit is angry because the energy is recycling, is back again. Like, again, he's not at rest, but I don't think he's doing any of it, like, consciously, like the spirit is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I almost feel like, at least to me, it reads like the spirit of this man, or, like, whatever, in this shed is just a byproduct from him, like from his memory, almost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts on that one? All right. Let's get to some pictures. I got a few different ones for you guys today, actually. Like, I took Plague Doctor and really just ran with it this time. So, first one I got is it's a drawing from a very long time ago. I don't know when. I can't read those words, but it is. I can't see a date really, but this is like the more traditional look of a Plague Doctor outfit that we're used to, right? Yeah. Like this, that's the depiction we're used to. And you can even see the stick there and everything that they're talking about. We have another one coming up, so I'm sending that right now. This is another depiction of Plague Doctor. So we have like more realistic mask. Basically, it's more like a sack, kind of like leather. It's less form-fitting almost.
Looks like a scarecrow almost.
It almost does look like a scarecrow. Yeah. I agree. And next, I have a couple. This next one is a picture of a real Plague Doctor outfit that was recovered and is in a museum currently. I don't know which museum. So this is what it actually looks like back in the day, which I'm sorry, if I'm seeing that in my house, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I would also refer to him as Birdman, especially if I was that kid.
No, yeah. That's terrifying. I also don't like how like the beak area is like not
fucked up.
Yeah, it's all mangled.
It's like mangled. But think about it, it makes more sense. Because it's not supposed to look like a bird. It's supposed to carry those herbs, you know?
It's
it just
the eye holes.
Eye holes are terrifying.
It's the eye holes for me. They're jutting out. They're like, how do I describe it?
Like they're bulging.
Yeah, that. It's like, think about, ew, it kind of triggers my, ew.
Yeah. And then I have one...
Like volcanoes. That's what the eyes look like.
No, I can see that for sure. Yeah. Or like barnacles.
Barnacles.
So I have one more, and is another real Plague Doctor outfit in a museum. And this one doesn't have like the hat that we're used to that would make it look more sophisticated. Again, seeing this, terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, especially as a kid, that's horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Yeah, so that's what I've got for you guys today. Dalia, how many stories you got for us?
Oh, shit. I have 2 stories today.
All right.
2 itty bitties. And, how do you guys feel about mimics?
Ooh, not a fan, but I love hearing stories of them. They actually terrify me.
Same.
But like,
I wouldn't quite call this like a doppelganger mimic, but it's definitely mimicking something.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I don't need to... It just matters that it's mimicking. That's what gets the fear of flowing.
Yeah.
This allegedly true encounter was also found on Reddit, and I have titled it Almost Human.
Great. Love that.
So let's get into it. So this happened about a year back. I was standing on my balcony around 3 a.m. smoking a cigarette. I was facing the window, and in the window I saw a reflection of something sitting on the rooftop of the building opposite across the street. I turned around, and there was nothing. I continued smoking, and as I looked up to the roof again, I saw a dark figure sitting on the ledge of the building. It wasn't sitting normal, kind of like how Spider-Man sits on a light pole, like it was hunting for something.
Oh.
I kept looking at it, trying to figure out what it was, and if it really was... Excuse me, if it's really what I think it is, or am I just sleep deprived? After like a half a minute of me staring, I felt like it looked back at me, and I just kept staring at it, and I was completely lost. It was a little dark, but I'm certain that this thing had almost human-like features, but in the most fucked up way imaginable. Skin that kind of looked burnt, and I'm not sure, I'm sure it didn't have eyeballs, just 2 empty eye sockets.
Hate that.
When I realized, I immediately turned my head down. Just a second later, I looked up again, and it was gone. I went inside, drank some water, and I hear a scream coming from somewhere nearby. I went to my balcony again, and the screaming didn't stop. It sounded like a woman, but there were no breaks in the scream. It was a continuous, loud scream. Me, being an idiot, I went down and started walking towards the sound. The road was dimly lit and not a soul in sight. I walked and walked, I think about 500 meters in. I realized that the sound was exactly like it was from my balcony. Okay, so there's a little bit of a typo here, but the sound should have been much, much louder if he was getting closer to it, but it was sounding exactly the same.
I don't like that.
Yep. So I kept walking towards the sound, and I walked for a while, and it still didn't get any louder. Every once in a while, I would forget that I'm walking, or even where I'm at or walking. I just kept on going, and then I would snap back. At this point, I realized I had come quite far from my house to an almost barren area. I started walking back towards my house, and the screaming didn't stop. It was an extremely eerie scream, almost human, but not quite. Humans breathe while screaming, but whatever this was, didn't. It's almost like I was drawn towards it. I reached home and opened a can of beer, and after a while, went to sleep. I woke up the next morning and went to the rooftop to see if I could find something. I first inspected the spot where I saw it in the reflection, and then the ledge, and then nothing, and saw nothing. I used baby powder and a transparent tape to see if I could get fingerprints or any cells in the sample, but I found nothing. Now here's the thing. I don't believe in ghosts or paranormal. Shocker. I honestly still don't because I'm a scientist. That doesn't mean it.
Right.
You can be a scientist and still.
Yeah.
But I cannot for the life of me find an explanation for this incident. It never haunts me. I didn't lose any sleep over it, but I still wonder what it could have been. I know I wasn't seeing things. I wasn't drunk or high. The reason I'm sharing this story after a year is because 3 days ago, I was sitting with my friends, and we were sharing weird things that we haven't told anyone about, and I shared this incident with them, and they were scared shitless. Especially because they know that I'm not the kind of guy who laughs at someone who claims they saw a ghost, or even someone... Excuse me, I guess he does laugh at somebody. Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who laughs at someone who claims they saw a ghost, or even someone who believes in one. A friend told me that she did not sleep that night after going home and recommended this subreddit to ask people what they think it was. So, what was it?
It's gonna fuck that, actually.
So, the fact that it was screaming...
I don't know. I don't like things that scream.
Or something
personally.
was screaming. I'm gonna guess it was the creature.
Right.
No breathing in between. It didn't change loudness or anything. And it was luring him far away from home. And he kept forgetting where he was or what he was doing.
That's the thing for me. It's almost like he was in like a trance of some sort, following this noise. And I don't like that. I don't like things that like get in your head like that.
Right.
Not a fan.
Exactly. Not a fan either. So I didn't take the description he put lightly. I gotta find it here. But this is what I have.
Oh, picture-wise?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not a fan of that.
And it's actually from mythfolks.com, and it looks like they have like articles on different paranormal creatures and
That
stuff.
thing got 6 fingers.
It do got 6 fingers.
Yeah.
That's polydactyl, just like Mooney.
And I mean, it's humanoid, kind of burnt, and I know the eyes are more glowing than sockets, but that's essentially what I pictured when he was describing it. So
don't like that.
I saw that Spider-Man posing on the balcony. I think I'm just going inside and going to sleep.
I'd be locking every door, shutting every window. I'd be in our basement, like just hauled up.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
No, yeah.
I don't know what it was, but don't go outside.
Oh, sorry. I just remembered. It's called residual haunting.
Oh,
Gotcha.
from earlier.
There it is.
Good job. Snaps.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Are you ready for my second one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to dive right in here. This next allegedly true encounter is from Reddit. Who would have guessed it?
Who would have guessed?
Right. I've decided to call this one Little Pinpricks. So, let's get into it.
Are you okay? Do you have a problem with little pinpricks?
No, I started thinking about a bunch of assholes, tiny little, but they were like shrunk down, a bunch of tiny little pricks.
Are you okay?
You're a tiny little prick, you know that?
What do you mean?
I am a tiny little prick.
Okay.
I don't know what.
It's just a bunch of clones of me and Michael.
I couldn't have imagined
pricks.
what was about to come out of your mouth, and like
that was the furthest from it.
that was yeah, and yet
I was still surprised. Please continue talking.
I grew up on a farm in Victoria, Australia. I now live in the UK. What I believe to be abductions occurred from the time I was 5 to the time I was 9 years old.
Abductions?
Did you say what the name of this one was?
Little Pinpricks.
Little Pinpricks.
You're right.
Are you serious?
You had a whole thing, and my brain just like ear, and like No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Continue.
There were 4 episodes in total. They all followed the same pattern. I would be lying in bed and about to fall asleep. I would hear a ringing in my ears. I would feel intense nausea. The ceiling above me would move and start to shake. I would try to cry out, but no sound would come out of me. I would feel a sickening feeling as if I were moving very quickly, and suddenly, think motion sickness multiplied beyond anything you can imagine.
Ugh.
I would wake up, quote unquote, and find myself in a place filled with green and red lights that smelled like recycled air and slightly like vomit. I could feel that I was restrained, but was not tied to anything. I could just not move my limbs. My legs would feel like they were burning, and a figure at the end of my body would keep putting heavy, sticky, black liquid on them that momentarily cooled them. I was afraid to look at the figure and afraid for their face to turn towards mine. Someone else's hand was on my forehead, holding my hair back. Twice the burning sensation was on my abdomen and not my legs. I would be utterly terrified each time. When I woke up, every time the next morning, I would find little pinpricks like spots on my body, and then I would be sick in bed for days and be incredibly weak. My mother recalls that I smelled very strange and like chemicals. I was too afraid to tell my parents, as I felt that if I did the same thing would happen to them. The doctors guessed that I was weak due to blood loss, but could not see telltale signs of viral or bacterial infections. I am not epileptic, and as an adult have been tested for all kinds of disorders. I am perfectly healthy. I firmly believed I was not abused. I am otherwise a completely rational person, but this is something I've felt for a long time happened to me. I have never told anyone but a friend of mine who in high school and my current boyfriend. I'm fully prepared for everyone here to mock this or call me a troll, but ask me anything. So, someone commented, asking, this completely ceased happening after the age of 9? Ever seen anything strange like UFOs around the same time? What did they look like? Classic grays? Any other types? Ever see any other humans during these experiences? How have these experiences impacted your life? Do you know anyone else who has had similar experiences?
Great questions.
To which OP responded, yes, the last episode actually happened the night before my 9th birthday. It never happened again after that, but it took me many years to feel safe going to sleep. There were usual people who claimed to see UFOs in our community. My parents always told us they were just weather balloons or planes or shooting stars. There were a few instances where many people claimed to see UFOs to the extent that the sightings were covered in the regional news, but they did not match up with my episodes. I didn't see any other humans, although in the 3rd episode I could hear a baby crying.
Ew.
This made me so afraid that I wanted to jump up or vomit or just start screaming, and the tension in my body felt impossible. I remember the hand on my forehead holding me down very firmly. I could not move my body or scream anyway. The figure at my legs was always very bulky and black. I was afraid to look right at it. I remember that it was very broad. Its back seemed to be raised to me, almost like a hunchback. It was always turned away from me, and I was afraid to look at it for too long. I do not think they wore any sort of clothing. I find it impossible most nights to sleep. I'm afraid to close my eyes. I sit up until about 6 a.m. I am able to sleep if my boyfriend is there, but I often try to sleep as close as possible to him so he will notice if something happens to me. I work from home so I can sleep in the morning. I hate to get sick. When I get the flu or something like that, I can't stand it. I would rather die. When I sleep, I feel the burning sensation in my legs, though they are not hot. It's like the memory of a physical sensation. I try to travel as little as possible because I can't bear the feeling of motion sickness. OP later on added an edit to their story. They said, revisiting this has been more difficult more difficult for me than I thought. I'm going to stop answering questions now. I apologize for doing so early. Thank you for the kind words and thoughtful advice. I am going to look into the possibility of insect bites and poison and take the other advice here. It has given me a lot to talk about. Thanks, Redditors. So, multiple people claim it is most likely sleep paralysis and a stress-induced rash, the pinpricks.
Right.
But what do you all think?
I don't know. Because, sure, it could be sleep paralysis. Sure, because that seems so wild. First of all, I don't like that. I know I say it a lot, but I really just don't like that. I don't like those feelings. I don't like... Because that... I don't know. Because there's part of me like, well, if it's sleep paralysis, like, that's a wild thing for your brain to make up. At the same time, the human brain can make up wild shit, you know?
Yep.
But the pinpricks thing, I don't know. And blood loss. Because you also have the whole, like, going to the hospital, going to the doctor thing, and then being like, hey, it could be this thing, but we don't know for sure. Like, the fact that it's affecting this person outside of what would be, like, the sleep paralysis thing makes me want to gravitate more towards, like, some kind of alien thing. Yeah.
His mom also said he smelled like chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's outside confirmation almost. And the thing with, like, smelling like chemicals is it's almost very telltale because that is a lot... No, so, like, there's a couple things that people, like, say, like, stuff smells like after aliens, and that's ozone, chemical. Ozone and chemicals are, like, the big ones. So chemicals, to me, feels like, okay, that definitely feels like something was there, right?
Ozone is such an interesting smell, too. Have you smelt it before?
Yes, it's weird.
It's like you're smelling lightning.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's very interesting.
There's
Have
no
you
other
smelt
way
it
to
before?
explain that.
I don't think so.
I have an ozone machine at home. That's why I asked.
Okay, no, I don't think so.
Because you ain't supposed to be. You're supposed to cut it on and then dip.
No, see, because...
And I could smell it as I was leaving. It's not a pleasant smell by any means.
What's an ozone machine?
An ozone machine?
What's that for?
It puts out, you can use it for, pests and things like that, like if you have mice.
I see.
But it pumps out ozone to kill anything living in the house.
Oh,
so you
zone.
You turn it on and you go. You can't stay in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I've heard, so the reason I kind of know what ozone smells like is because I heard it described one time because of, like, an alien story, and I was like, what the fuck is ozone? And I looked it up, I was like, oh, I've smelled that before. That's weird.
It quite literally smells like you're smelling lightning, and that makes no sense until you actually smell it. Another thing
is, like, they said they would smell recycled air. I could vividly smell what that is.
Yes,
like,
what recycled air
100%.
Like, yeah.
Like, what?
No, definitely I know what that is.
It reminds me of this most recent time when I went to go visit my partner in Jersey. I woke up one night completely covered in hives, and we still don't know why I woke up in hives.
Right.
There was nothing new. I had been in this bed for 3 nights before already. Same sheets and everything. But I took a Benadryl, took a shower, we went back to bed, and when we woke up, I was completely clear, and it didn't happen again.
Weird.
I mean,
I like
my
that.
arms, my body, I mean, I was covered in hives. And we still don't know what caused it.
Odd. That's so weird.
Yeah, no, I don't care for that either.
Yes, not a great experience.
I can't imagine, no.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I think Danny was more worried about me than I was worried.
Right.
They were very concerned about me.
No, I would be too. Like, damn.
Yep.
Okay, are we ready for the picture?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Picture, that's
I really
right.
like the
So-
story.
What do you got for a picture for this one?
The photo I chose for this one is what I think the room possibly looked like with the green and the red lights.
Okay.
So it is a stock photo, but I drew black marker over the person and made them bulky like in the story.
Oh, I don't...
I also added stuff at the bottom to make it look like it was like the foot of the
Yeah, I
bed
can see
to
that.
try and give the viewers a little POV.
I love when you make your own little images for this.
I do too. You put so much effort into it. Meanwhile, I'm like, here's a stock picture of a cat.
That was our second episode. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. And you're so creative.
No, I would not like seeing that, and like describing how its back was to, and like the instinctual feeling of don't look at it. Like, ooh, I don't like it.
Yep.
See, this is one of those stories that describes like possible aliens as like terrifying sounding almost.
Yeah, like that's because again, I'm with you. I'm not really scared of aliens, but at the
that's
same
scary.
time, I've never had an alien
The
encounter.
fuck is that black ooze?
Sounds terrifying.
Yep. I was originally gonna send pictures of black ooze, but everything was just so cartoonish.
Yeah.
Or it was like black vomit from,
Yeah.
like the penguin,
Hearing that
Stuff like
story,
that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
Hearing that story, I'm like, okay, I understand why Michael don't fuck with aliens.
Yeah.
No, yeah, our friend
I get
Michael, who we've talked about before, that's like his worst fear is aliens. And there's been so many times where I think me and B and like maybe even Dalia were like, yeah, we don't really get it because I'm just not that scared of aliens. But there are stories like this one where I'm like, no.
But see, I didn't even know that he was afraid of aliens until the last recording session.
Oh, really?
You
That's
brought
right.
it up. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, he don't fuck with aliens.
But after hearing that, I'm like, okay, I get it. He might be onto something.
No, he's on to something whether I know it or not. Is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, for real. Well, thank you. That was
I'm getting thanked this time.
getting thanked. Have I not thanked you before? So thank you for that as well.
I typically last time you said not thank me because it was
awful.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was a pretty bad one.
Sorry.
What?
Burping in the mic.
Oh, you're.
I love it here. Leave it in.
Bet.
Okay. All right. B, I think you're up. What do
Are you
got?
sure about that?
I believe so. Unless you got a third one you're sneaking in.
Do you want a third one? Encore.
Okay. So, this story is a recent one, and it is called The Lady in the Ugly Gray-Blue Minivan Who Just Needed to Get Home to Jackson, Mississippi. That
Damn.
sounds like a Fall Out Boy song.
It does.
really
I was about
does.
to say that. Yeah. Bye,
Like,
Fall
damn,
Boy.
this lady steal money from you? What?
Alright. Recently, I pulled into my HOA's personal gas station. I say this because it's 200 feet outside of my HOA's entrance and we all use it.
Mm-hmm.
I was pumping gas and cleaning my windshield when I heard, "Excuse me, sir," behind me. I turned and saw a large woman in sort of a muumuu tentatively approaching me. Her hair was greasy and stringy, and one of her tires was obviously a spare. She was very apologetic and nervous. My radar went up, but she was harmless, and I asked what she needed. She said she was almost out of gas and needed to get home to Jackson, Mississippi, 320 miles away. I looked over at her vehicle, which was a late 90s minivan in that awful 80-ish grayish blue color. If you remember the 90s, you know what I'm talking about, with paint peeling off in multiple spots all over. A closer look showed me she had crap piled up. A closer look showed me she had crap piled up various windows. I asked what she needed, and she told me that she was coming from somewhere, I forget where, and she just needed to get home to Jackson. She asked for anything I could spare. I told her to pull in behind me. Her eyes got wide, and she did so. I placed my card against the reader, pushed the button, and told her to fill it up. She was extremely appreciative. Being a mildly curious guy, when I got home, I googled her minivan type, miles per hour, and gas tank size. By my calculation, she would have 2 gallons left over by the time she got home. I'd given her another $20 for food or in case of emergencies. I don't believe in giving cash in hand to anyone in need, due to an incident I had in Seattle in 1995, but I always try to help people in more practical ways. I travel a lot and save my daily shampoo, conditioner, and body wash bottles into my luggage. Once full, I donate them to a local teen crisis pregnancy center or halfway house. Having spent much of my 55 years road tripping, helping people on the road is my favorite way to assist. I dislike it when people trumpet good deeds on social media and try to live by Matthew 6:3-4. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. For so that your giving may be in secret, then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Probably why I like this sub. I can tell people about my good deeds anonymously and hopefully inspire them to do the same. Anyways, if you see someone who needs gas money, buy them a full tank. You'll need it yourself one day. Lord knows in 30 years of road tripping, I have needed plenty of help.
Nice, yeah.
Now, what I should have done for this picture is actually what I'm about to do real quick. Hold on.
What do you mean? Okay, we'll talk about while you find whatever you need.
Well, so listen, the picture that I was gonna share was just a gas pump.
Yeah.
But I have a picture here that I can send you guys now. That's that kind of a similar van look.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. You'll understand that ugly ass blue gray 90s color when you see it.
100%. Yeah.
Yep, one
Absolutely.
of them. I think that specifically is an Astro van. I don't know what kind of van she had, but I had an Astro van growing up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, gas money is always like such an easy thing like to help people with. I've never personally been asked like I don't think I've ever been personally asked like if I have any money for gas, but like at the same time it also sucks because I wish I made more money, or I wish I was richer, because I would love to just give. I would love to just give, honestly.
Because Lord knows this city could use it. Could really use the help.
Oh, for sure.
But it's hard to do when you're getting by just barely by
yourself.
No,
yeah, it's so hard to do, and that's why, like, if you have the opportunity, I think it's such a wonderful thing for people to do. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
That's great. It was a nice recording session, guys.
Yeah, yeet. Also, this is episode 10.
This is episode
double
10.
Digits. We hit double digits today.
We made it to double digits.
That's fucking crazy.
We made it to 10 weeks.
High five.
We made it to 10. Yeah. I'm actually close enough to high five you.
Little nosedive. We just dolphin high-fived.
Yeah. We made it through. This is our 10th week of releasing an episode in a row.
That's crazy.
We're doing good. No, yeah, this is great. I really enjoy doing this with you guys.
Oh yeah,
I love hearing the new stories. I love hearing the wholesome stories, and I love getting to tell you guys these scary stories that I've been watching and stuff for years now. Have been like, man, I wish somebody else knew about this. You know what I mean? Like I have so many that I'm like, I want to make sure I cover this. But this, at least for this session, I wanted to make sure I had a couple new sources like Aliens in Alaska and A Ghost Ruined My Life. I will say you might hear Paranormal Witness and A Haunting more than the rest because I do love those shows, but I will be I'll be incorporating like different ones. But I have some that because I've seen from those shows, I have some that I'm like, I definitely want to do this like for this show, and I want to do it soon. So next recording session, or I guess for you guys listening, by next week, I might have some new stories. I'm sorry some of mine are always so dark, but shit gets scary.
Someone's got to be.
Right. Shit's scary, and scary is dark.
What's that supposed
sometimes.
to mean?
Meaning it's always one of you two. And that's the whole reason I'm here. For when it does get dark and heavy.
That's fair.
That's the whole reason I'm here.
That was indeed the game plan, so that's fair.
So it works out. You know what I mean? Ain't gotta apologize for it. That's part of the show.
No, yeah, so I guess follow us on socials. We have 5 of them specifically, I guess if you count YouTube. I would count YouTube more as like a source to watch or listen to the podcast. But so our actual socials are Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, because fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
And TikTok, which I get. No, yeah, that's a social, because you can't listen on TikTok. You can just see clips that I put up on there. Also, after 10 weeks, because we do have some other pages that interact with us and stuff, and that like we interact with. So I'm the one who runs the socials. It's Brandon you're talking to if you're messaging us on like Instagram or anything. It's me. However, I do try, especially for like stories I share, I do try to speak for the rest of us and think about it more often. But usually it's me you're talking to directly. Because there has been a couple of that. So any comments you see from our socials on different posts or whatever, that's all me. So blame me for any craziness and like shit like that.
What are you doing out there? What are you commenting that you have to disclose
Wait a
that you're
minute.
commenting?
Well, my favorite one was earlier today, which I told you guys about already. But it's like, I say earlier today, but this was like 5 weeks ago at this point. So try to stop me now, I guess. In a group, somebody posted a picture of the sign that was up. It said, no Bigfoot discussions on the patio, and I commented things getting heated in the big feet community. And
Jesus
I thought
Christ.
I was funny, so like,
no, it's pretty.
I think it's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Hell
Bigfoot,
yeah.
big feet.
The big feet community.
Yeah, so that's me. And I do want to say, since starting this podcast and like starting up the socials and everything, I have found so many amazing and wonderful other like very creepy paranormal and true crime podcasts that like are now our mutuals. They're awesome.
Not kind of creepy though.
Not kind of creepy.
Very creepy.
That kind of creepy has been retired, unfortunately. For the foreseeable future. For those of you who don't know, me and Dalia used to have another podcast called Kinda Creepy where we reviewed creepy TV shows.
I
I
was
miss that
barely
sometimes.
on it.
You were the third host.
I was the third host. Yes.
Yeah. That's still out there if you do want to see it somewhere. I miss it a lot, but you know, we're too far away from. Anyway, what I'm saying is there's a lot of really cool and really creepy podcasts out there, and I'm so excited. I get so excited every time I find a new one because I love finding more things to listen to. But yeah, there's our socials. If you have a paranormal encounter that you want us to like read on here, that you're like, hey, I want to tell you guys this, and we're like, hey, we want to tell everybody else this. Or you have like not paranormal, I just said that. If you have a wholesome story that you're like, hey, you can read this one too, you can send them to TPIBOTE at outlook.com, and in the subject just make sure to let us know if it's a story for Dalia, creepy, or a story for B, wholesome. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
There's that. Rate and review us on Facebook, Apple, and Spotify. It would really help. We would love to hear from you. And which one of you would like to end us out today? Is it B's turn? I think it's B's turn. All right. It's B's turn. B's word, if you would.
All right. Know that we love and we appreciate your support and you guys hanging out here with us. And as always, this podcast was based on true events.